This month, multiple law enforcement agencies are cracking down on what many people do every day, and that's texting while driving. Every time they are caught, they can say goodbye to Mr. Franklin. Before there was a resident agency, many law enforcement agencies needed to go through the U.S. Attorney's Office regarding a case, and then maybe an FBI agent will get sent out. Now, local agencies can go directly talk to an agent. The days of the single well pad might be over because many of the companies in the Bakken are upgrading to the multi-well pad. One of those companies is Hess, and right behind me, they have a total of 18 wells. The search for Baldwin is now on week 2 as volunteers have covered hundreds of miles. First, the search began around a 15-mile radius along Baldwin's home. Now, the search has been expanded to the Mondack region. Law enforcement officials said many of the thefts around town can be avoided if residents lock their vehicles. A couple of years ago, real estate developers couldn't wait to build homes in the Bakken region. Now, some developers are looking to recoup their investments. It has been a busy day for Senator Bernie Sanders, as earlier in the day, he held a rally in Missoula. And this evening, he took the stage here in Billings to address the crowd. After the primary win last night, Sanders is down almost 300 pledged delegates. Hearing only lasted about 30 minutes. The prosecutor had one law enforcement official testify regarding what he learned during the investigation. No cameras were allowed inside the courtroom, but supervisory criminal investigator for Fort Peck Tribes, Ken Trottier, told the court that Janelle Red Dog confessed to punching Olson 3 times, which led to the 1-year-old's death. The Williams County Sheriff's Office is forming a 20-member Special Operations and Response team that will be trained to handle dangerous situations. The Sheriff's Office will partner with the Williston Police Department and the Northwest Narcotics Task Force. This is one of the ways to trap live mosquitoes. What this is called is the CO2 baited live trap. What you do is you pack the dry ice into this container, you close the lid, and then the CO2 is going to release from these holes, and then you turn on the fan, and then the fan is going to blow the mosquitoes into this net. Monica, many people in the Bakken are hopeful that the slowdown oil production will soon run its course and bring back those who have left. The 2016 statewide housing needs assessment believes that will be the case. What this study set out to do were 3 things. First, movement. How far were these moose traveling? 2, survival rate. Can they survive in this region? And 3, calving rate. Is the population going to increase or decrease? After a 40-year absence, Amtrak may resume making Culbertson one of its stops along the Empire Builder route. Right now, Culbertson residents have to travel 50 miles in each direction to board Amtrak. For the Baldwin family, days and nights are spent going through bushes after bushes. But they're not the only ones.
The community support has been really great.
A Minneapolis-based search and rescue group, United Legacy, arrived last week to help look for the 30-year-old father of 3, Baldwin's sister, Kristen Bird.
They have some really great resources that we just don't have.
But this past Sunday, the group returned home because of lack of funding. But they're still coordinating efforts. The search for Baldwin is now on week 2 as volunteers have covered hundreds of miles. First, the search began around a 15-mile radius along Baldwin's home. Now, the search has been expanded to the Mondack region.
It is somewhat unusual.
Williams County Sheriff's Office Captain Verlin Kwandi says usually the first 48 hours of the case they have information, but for this case, several leads have turned up nothing. But the agency is working on backtracking the electronic devices and bank records.
So we're going to keep doing what we can with the information that comes in that's new, and then I'm sure a couple times a week the investigators are going to meet.
The Sheriff's Office advises farmers and landowners to keep an eye on their ditches and properties for motorcycle debris or anything out of place. Baldwin's family says they are open to any help the community can offer.
We're going to keep going until we bring him home.
The family is hoping their prayers are answered. For NBC North Dakota News, I'm Garj Paul Sunga.
We've been on the plains for at least 1,000 years.
For the last 16 years, Lauren Yellowbird has been a park ranger at the Fort Union Trading Post. He is a professional historian with degrees in history and anthropology. He is also a cultural interpreter for the park.
I do that the best that I can. I try to represent my people in a good way.
Yellowbird originally applied to act in the movie, but producers thought he was more valuable behind the screen. Lauren Yellowbird was a technical advisor for this film. He was in charge of teaching actors the language of Arikara, Sioux, and Pawnee. In total, he spent 14 weeks on set.
Very humbling to be part of it, especially now because this film's getting a lot of Oscar buzz, you know, and we're very, we're excited.
The last couple of days, he's been a rock star.
Andy Banta is Fort Union's park superintendent, and he allowed Yellowbird to take a leave without pay for the movie. And Banta says they picked the right man for the job.
Lauren's got an insight to the Indian culture that the rest of us don't have, and that's very positive because really half of this part of the Fort story is about the Native Americans bringing in furs and trading furs.
Yellowbird's goal is to teach as much as he can about his tribe, and he was able to do it in a way some only dream of. For NBC North Dakota News, I'm Garj Palsunga.